Hey, today on Bakes and Blenders, we are going to take your wonky, lopsided, and cracked macaron shells and turn them into Mookies, macaron stuffed cookies. They're easy and delicious, so let's get started. In a mixing bowl, combine your flour, cornstarch, baking soda, and salt. Give it a good whisk and set it aside. Now combine your unsalted butter, brown sugar, and white sugar in the bowl of a stand mixer. We're going to beat this on a low speed just to incorporate the butter and the sugars so it's nice and creamy, but we're not trying to incorporate a lot of air and make it fluffy. You'll want to stop the mixer and scrape down the bowl once or twice during this process. Scrape down your bowl and add your vanilla, then beat on low just to combine. You can find links to these recipes in the description box below this video. Scrape your bowl down again and add your egg and beat on low just to combine. After I've mixed my egg in for a few seconds, I like to pause and scrape down my bowl again to help that egg incorporate into the butter mixture. Now we're going to add our dry ingredients and mix until the dough is almost combined, but there are still some streaks of dry ingredients. Once the cookie dough is ready, we're going to add our mix-ins. For these Mookies, I'm adding in about 3 ounces of macaron shells that I've just chopped roughly into quarters, and about 6 to 7 ounces of Funfetti white chocolate chips. Mix for just a few seconds, then you can turn off your machine and finish scraping down the bowl and combining the ingredients by hand with a spatula. Time to scoop and stuff our Mookies. You'll need about 9 macaron shells that have been cut into half, your extra Funfetti white chocolate chips, and of course your Mookie cookie dough. Scoop out a portion of your cookie dough and dispense it into your hand. Then gently flatten it slightly and place a half of a macaron shell into the center of your cookie. Then you can wrap the dough around it and press it gently so that you have a nice cookie dough ball. I prefer to do this wearing food prep gloves because it just minimizes the mess. I also have really hot hands, so this stops the dough from sticking to me. I buy mine at Target. Repeat this process with all of your cookie dough. You should end up with about 18 Mookies. You can find links to the products that I've used in the description box below this video. To finish off our Mookies, we are going to top each ball of cookie dough with a handful of extra Funfetti white chocolate chips. This does a couple of things for us. For one, it makes sure that every single cookie is going to have a nice serving of Funfetti chips in them, but it also is going to make them look beautiful when they bake and they're topped with those chips. You could skip this step, but it's definitely worth it in my opinion. So making macarons is really difficult and it takes years to master. And even once you've been making macarons for years, you're going to have a bad batch every now and then. And so this is a great way to use up those macarongs, those lopsided, cracked, ugly macaron shells that you just cannot use. Another great option is to make macaron brownies. So I'll put a link to that video up on the screen, and I'll put a link to the recipe and video down below in the description box. Check that one out if you love chocolate. Once your cookie dough balls are all topped, you're going to put them in the freezer for about an hour, then transfer the frozen balls to a freezer bag, and you're going to leave them in the freezer overnight. The next day, preheat your oven, prepare your baking sheet, and you can take the frozen Mookies straight out of the freezer, put them on your tray, and bake them. When they're done baking, they will have a nice golden brown color on the edge of the cookies, but they will still be nice and soft in the center. Let them cool on the baking sheet for about 5 to 10 minutes until you transfer them to a cooling rack to cool completely. If you're enjoying this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you can see more of my videos. These cookies taste just like any other delicious chocolate chip cookie, but they've got that added texture and flavor of the chopped up macaron shells that just takes it to the next level. Absolutely delicious.